Hi, this is Mike Hendrickson from Software Architecture in London. I'm here with Thomas from Enonic. Thomas, how you doing?
Great.
So, Enonic.
Yeah.
What do you guys do?
We build platform technology, so we make it easier for people to build websites and web applications, basically, and preferably for customer-facing, scalable solutions.
So, a platform, is that different than a framework or some other way to describe platform architecture?
Yeah, you could say so. A platform, the difference between a platform and a framework is that a platform is something you build on. A framework is something you bring into your application. In our system, you could say it's a little of both. Essentially, when you choose to build an app on our platform, which is called Enonic XP, we say that you're building an Enonic app. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to simplify that journey, because normally you would need, to build an app today, you would need some storage, some database. You would typically need some search engine too, to do fancy magic on that. Yeah. And then you would need an app engine of some kind, Java, .NET, JavaScript stuff.
How about a commerce tool?
Yeah, and then some as you go up the levels, you need identity, right? And then maybe content management. So before you code a single line, right, you already have 5 different pieces of software running. Even the CMS might have its own stack over here. So we thought that was kind of a messy thing. Why not make it easier? So our platform provides all these services from a single dependency. So if you choose to build an Enonic app, you get access to store data. You get powerful search, Elasticsearch style. You get ability to execute JavaScript code on the server. You get a common set of identity concepts. And actually also you have, on top of this, we have built a content management system that you can use if you need some editorial stuff in your app or website. So you could do all of this with a single dependency rather than having all these moving parts.
So are you similar to like the hosting sites? So I can be hosted by you as well? Or can I run my own hosting and just build with your framework or your tools?
Yeah, so our sort of slogan is your ID, our platform, any cloud. Essentially it means you can run this on a local Mac
server, right?
yeah, or local on your PC actually, though that wouldn't be the server, but it runs on any operating system and any cloud, on-premise or public clouds.
So AWS, Azure, Google, runs on any of them?
IBM, whatever you like. So that's our sort of offering. You don't get locked into these new popular platform as a service offerings. So these are, in my opinion, the new lock-ins.
So I can run on the IBM cloud, but I don't have to use Bluemix.
Yeah, essentially. But you could.
But I could
use it in cooperation with Bluemix.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, we provide freedom, and we provide a shorter way to the goal if you're building like a scalable web app, and it's about custom coding project. So you can use any kind of front-end framework. Talking about frameworks like these new, like what did they say yesterday? You choose a front-end framework that you will regret within the next 6 months.
Yeah.
You're free to do that
yeah.
and regret and replace it. We don't push any of that on you. We try to use whatever standard out there.
So you interact with anything that I might choose as a user using your services?
Yeah, we try to be as open as possible, but then have an opinionated way of giving you these core services without being too sort of rigid.
And so what do you see as like a pattern with companies that want to use your service? What is their main goal?
Yeah, typically we've had customers traditionally though, in financial, in government, in logistics, these various things, and they all want to like achieve a great user experience and being able to expose services right to their users. So that has been our traditional approach. But with our new platform, we are also able to, let's say you have an idea, I want to build Airbnb. We can actually enable you to build that with our stack. And naturally, if you, let's say, we're going to do some transactions there. Of course, then you pull in a traditional SQL server to handle those data. So we just offer the core of your app to make that faster.
So what if I have a a fairly mid-size to large app built, in,
Yeah.
a web app built. Can I migrate to your services
Ah.
and then use your services? Is that easy to do, or is that?
Yeah,
Is
it
it
all
better to start
depends,
from
of
scratch?
course, how long is a rubber band. But if you have coded the server part of this, the front-end part should be easily migrated, unless you do it on the servers. But the server part, if you have done a lot of work with Java, yes. If you have done a lot of work with JavaScript, yes, then you have a nice transition. Of course, if you built everything with .NET, then there's a major rewrite, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if I'm a Node.js site, I'm good?
Yeah, if you're now if your server side Node.js, you can't just migrate it because we don't support all Node.js parts, but like 90% of Node.js things should be able to run directly on our platform.
Excellent.
So we differentiate in terms of like supporting multi-threading rather than the Node.js just as one process per. There's some different details there, but otherwise pretty much the same.
So what is the number one requested thing that people want when they're using your site? Is it responsive design? Is it what are people looking for?
I think at least what we're seeing as an emerging thing, because it's been responsive website, lots of content, all of these things. People have used the CMS functionality. But what we're seeing as a huge thing coming is progressive web apps. And we basically believe that will sort of replace native app development within reasonably short time. Short version of that is you get the best from web and the best from native, and it looks like anything that's native on your device.
And what is a progressive web app in your mind?
Yeah, so essentially it's not, hopefully not in my mind alone, but it's the definition is more or less that it looks and feels like a native app. It is responsive, works on any device. It is easy to discover, like you can find it as a URL, right? You can link to it. You can install it. It works offline, so resilient in terms of network conditions, and various other aspects around this that sort of combined make up a pattern. So if your app supports all of this, then it's a progressive web app.
It seems like maybe some of the airlines and maybe hotels that have those apps seems like they could be doing that.
Yeah, definitely. We think that now companies have to build one app for Android, one for iOS, and they need a website, and maybe do something for Windows. Who knows? So we see that the Google is betting really hard on this, and we know Microsoft is coming with full support now in an upcoming Windows 10 release. And this is Microsoft's opportunity to be relevant on the client side again. I know that they just ditched Windows Mobile, but they didn't say anything about Windows 10 and running stuff on mobile. At least I've seen that they are planning to just crawl the web, identify progressive web apps, and add it to Windows Store. So as a user, the transition between an app or website is going to be completely transparent. So the moment you install it, the browser Chrome goes away, and you just feel like you're in a native app.
Won't that be a better world for everyone when all companies do that sort of thing?
Definitely, definitely, and it's going to be a much more efficient world too. But for the time being, you pretty much now can go this road with Android. iOS is still like, I guess, a year or so in the workings before you see full support. But if you build this progressive web app, you can still wrap it in an iOS hybrid framework and go with that. So it's only if you need particular functionality. Let's say at this moment, if you need the Bluetooth support on iOS, then you have to wrap it. Otherwise, I think in 2 years' time, we'll see that most of these APIs are available for all devices.
So progressive is kind of the wave of the future. If you and I were to sit down 12 months from now, Thomas, and have this discussion next year here in London, what will change for Enonic, and what will change in the industry that you think will be better for everyone?
Hopefully Apple has full support for progressive web apps. So that's my number one hope. And we are positioning ourselves as a progressive web apps platform, where you can do everything from the storing the data until content management if you need that. So I hope we have many new progressive web apps to demo. and that many of our customers have built them. That's,
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent, Thomas. We look forward to that conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, great.